You have found it. It's the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video, and we're almost done with the month of August, and I had to check the calendar today to make sure it was still August because of how it felt and how it looked out there today. But don't worry, things are about to improve in a big hurry. We just are about at the end of the month, as I said, and the record books, temperature-wise, will be nothing remarkable for August. We're going to end up just a shade below average for the month when you factor in highs and lows. This graphic just shows the highs, and today's high, 67. It was our coolest August day in about 8 years. It really felt like late September or even early October out there, especially when we had a little mist or fine drizzle here and there this afternoon. Now, compared to the average, that high of 67 is a full dozen degrees cooler than the average for the end of August, and some of these numbers were even higher across parts of the region. 16, the number below average in Akron and in New Philly earlier on today. Time-lapse video from Boardman. Notice the almost full moon setting in the wee hours of this morning. The moon technically full this evening. It was almost full last night. We had some sun for a time this morning. Generally speaking, the clouds, though, won the battle for most of the afternoon. And as I mentioned, we even had a little drizzle or some sprinkles, a little fine mist here and there, just making it, again, feel much more like about a month or 6 weeks from now than late August. All right, tropical troubles continue in the south, but our system here, of course, made landfall about 12 hours ago at this point in the Big Bend area of Florida. And now a tornado watch is still out for parts of the eastern Carolinas, and this is just a big rainmaker with some gusty winds in that severe weather threat for the rest of the evening. Back here at home, we have the clouds, but not all night. I think the clouds will thin later on tonight, leading to nothing but sunshine for most of the next 6 or 7 days. The clouds will thin out in time for some of us to see the full moon tonight. It'll be mostly after midnight before the clouds part enough to see a good view of the full moon. A couple of interesting things here. This is a blue moon, which just means it's the second full moon in a calendar month. We had a full moon at the very beginning of August as well. It's also a supermoon, a full moon coinciding with the closest point in the moon's rotation to the Earth. So it's a little bit closer than it usually is when there's a full moon, so it's called a supermoon. And this is the last blue moon that coincides with a supermoon until 2037. So yeah, the moon is not blue in color. To the naked eye, it's a little hard to tell that, you know, it's any bigger than it usually is, but technically, yeah, supermoon, a blue moon, and this is the last time we'll have those in tandem for quite some time. All right, we'll blitz through the next few days because there's almost nothing to talk about other than, hey, it's going to be beautiful. The sun will be out as high pressure drifts around the region. Now, it's going to be very comfortable until the start of the weekend. Warm front pushes in by Saturday morning, and this will open the door to some of the hottest weather we've had so far this year, especially at the very end of the upcoming weekend. In the meantime, what an absolutely gorgeous evening we'll have Thursday evening for the Penguins home opener under the lights at Stambaugh Stadium, taking on Valpo at 7:30. Looking for a kickoff temperature somewhere in the upper 60s, 68 degrees-ish, ending up in the upper 50s. Light jacket or a hoodie, not a bad idea if you're heading to the game Thursday evening. All right, so not a drop of rain, hardly a cloud in the sky. Thursday right through probably Wednesday of next week. Will we challenge any records? I think we will on 2 occasions. One is on Labor Day, on Monday. The record high on that date is 94. Our current forecast is 92. Now, the record on Tuesday is out of reach. That's 99, set in 1954. Wednesday's record, though, is a little bit low-hanging fruit compared to our forecast. Our forecast for Wednesday, 94. The record is 93, set in 1954. Look how hot early September was, back-to-back years in the 50s, 1953 and 1954. So, yeah, it's going to get real hot at the Canfield Fair, and for anything else you may be planning to do outdoors this weekend, especially late in the weekend and into early next week as well. We'll have an update on that heat, recap of August, a look ahead to meteorological fall, and much more on Thursday evening's edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Thanks for watching on this Wednesday evening, and have a great rest of your night.